Helen Flanagan. The only way is Jupp. It's Miles Jupp. And their team captain, John Locke. And facing them tonight, Achtung, baby, it's Henning. The Brooker Prize, it's Alex Brooker. And their team captain, John Richardson. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
And welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut, a show all about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 36% of people think the best way to dump someone is over the phone? Please press 1 for it's not you, it's me. 2 for we can still be friends. And 3 for I'm sorry, I've got your mum pregnant. 25% of men pretend to be asleep if they hear a strange noise in the night. I can't get to sleep sometimes because there's this strange bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. I asked my girlfriend, is there a fly in here? And she said, yes, yes, yes! And 73% of dieters abandon their diet at the weekend. And there's a special name for those dieters, fat people. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about?
What have you been chatting about?
On Tuesday, England won the World Cup, didn't they?
England! England! Hey!
Who are you?
Henning, so you've lived... How long have you lived in the UK?
Since 2002. So I've seen them win many, many World Cups. I don't enjoy football as much as I used to, because our German side, we're rubbish these days. We have not won a major tournament for 17 years. Haven't been to a final of one for about 5 years. And been to a semi-final of one for practically 18 months. So.
Can I remind you you're a guest here?
Are
you a big football fan, Helen?
Yeah, I like football. I think it can be quite exciting. But I've been away, so I haven't actually caught up with the news. So they had this. They had a game that basically got them towards the World Cup. Yeah. So who was that against?
It was against. They beat Leeds. They beat Leeds.
No, they didn't. So it was England against...
played against Jossie's Giants.
No. Who did England play against? England played against...
Count Duculus 11. They played Poland.
The Poles, they looked ill, though, didn't they? I saw that. The Polish people in general, they look fairly ill. Whoever they replaced, so they always looked as if they hadn't slept for 3 weeks.
They've had a tough time of it historically, to be honest.
Maybe they've been watching the History Channel just before the game. Oh, Jesus. What those Germans did to us. They realised, actually, we should be playing with the English.
Sean, if it was a choice, OK, between England winning the World Cup and Chelsea, your team, winning the European Championship, what would you go for?
Well, one of them's not plausible, is it?
I think Chelsea are a good side.
Just literally no chance of England winning the World Cup.
You say that, but on the other side...
Hey!
Yeah.
John, if it was a choice between England winning the World Cup and Leeds not being relegated again...
Somebody's Googled football this week, haven't they?
Funny is now they're starting to wheel out all the statistics, isn't it? Like, that England hasn't lost a football game in Brazil since 1972. Well, Germany hasn't lost a world war since 1945, but all amounts to very little.
These are all good stats. They're really getting me up for it. I think we're going to win.
I think obviously the big story is that Roy Hodgson, he gets us to the World Cup, and they don't even give him 12 hours. Like, his duvet's still warm, he's just got out of it, and there's, like, Roy's a racist on the front cover of The Sun. This ridiculous story about him, part of his half-time team talk was this joke, a motivational joke, about 2 monkeys in a spaceship and an astronaut, And the joke is that the NASA speaks to the first monkey and says, switch on the retro boosters, and the happens. Then in the second monkey, do this, whatever, and that happens. And then they show the astronaut. He goes, I know. He said, feed the monkeys and don't touch anything. And he told that joke, and then he was saying to the players, feed the monkey, meaning he meant Andros Townsend, as in he's the main man. But it's been taken by the press as a racist statement.
It's just an old joke, isn't it? He's done nothing.
The ironic thing about it is it's an old Irish joke. It used to be, it used to be a racist joke about the Irish. And Roy's gone, I know what, it's a bit racist. I'll just say astronaut. I won't say Irish astronaut. He thinks he's removed. He thinks he's removed. Racism point, not
He's
seeing.
wily.
So the players came out in sport. I just don't think they've understood yet. I think the penny will drop in the midweek that they think he was being racist, so that's why they're going, it's ridiculous, right? Oh, what? He's not... Oh, I thought he was being racist. That's disgusting. If he's telling jokes in the dressing room when he could have been being racist, I've had enough.
But the player himself has come out and said it's nothing, it's not newsworthy. And on Sky News, they were reporting the story with the strap line underneath saying, Andros Townsend says, this is not newsworthy. And we're here at the FA, and what Roy Hodgson has to say, and he goes, Andros Townsend, not newsworthy, not newsworthy. I mean, the irony was delicious.
I don't know an enormous amount about football, despite the fact that I've been talking so much during this section of the show. But there's something about Hodgson. He doesn't necessarily have a great deal of sort of confidence about him. He doesn't necessarily look competent. If your boiler stopped working and you sort of rang the yellow pages and said, can someone mend the boiler, and Roy Hodgson turned up at your door, you'd immediately think, well, he's not going to get it started, is he? Look at him.
Let's have a look at him. I mean, he looks fine now, doesn't he? That fills me with confidence.
That's a man saying, I don't know what's wrong with your boiler.
That's a man saying, has anyone seen my chin?
What I liked about the way the press are just desperate to get some kind of innuendo or pun on the word Brazilian. So they're just these really these headlines that grammatically don't work, like let's get a Brazilian, because they know that the Brazilian means the waxing job, but it doesn't quite work. They should just go, we're in the World Cup, shave your pubes. There, we've said it. That's what we really want to talk about, you shaving your pubes. We know we're not going to win, so shave it off.
All right, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, this is the news that the England football team has won a short holiday in Brazil. So England beat Poland in the football, while Poland beat England in the putting up shelves and the child-minding. Sean Steen, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
They've sent Boris Johnson and George Osborne to China.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A trade trip, really, to encourage trade links.
Let's have a look at Boris Johnson in China. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's him at the Forbidden City.
They're not the ideal people, George Osborne and Boris Johnson, send out. I mean, normally when we want to get people interested in our country, we wheel out David Beckham, don't we? Prince William. We normally send them out. But, I mean, when I met Boris Johnson, it put me off living in London.
Henning, what do you think of him?
I don't know. I'm in two minds. I'm obviously a Londoner in it.
Obviously, yeah.
That means he's my governor, he's my mayor. And personally, I like my politicians really, really dull.
Once bitten, twice shy, yeah.
I really like Boris.
You like Boris Johnson?
Yeah, I do.
Is it because he's got the same hair colour as you?
No, I just think he's really cute and I think he's really funny, and I can see why they would send him over, because he's kind of like, he'd probably charm them because he's really funny.
But it's just, I just don't think he's not a serious person. He never commits to anything.
Well, there has been a lot of speculation over the last little while about him being the next leader of the Conservatives, and he was asked recently about his ambitions. Take a look.
Matthew Dancona's book, In It Together, he quotes a conversation between you and David Cameron, where on the night of your second victory over Livingston, you say to Cameron, "This is my last election, Dave. I want to go and earn some money."
I don't remember saying that.
David Cameron replies, apparently, "That's bollocks." Is it bollocks?
What, the whole story or what?
No, the idea that what you want to do when you leave the mayoralty of London is to go and make some money.
Well, I've just said, in case you weren't paying attention, that one thing I had thought of doing, perhaps in a completely vain and unrealistic way was romantic fiction, with those kind of glossy novels at airports with very embossed covers with pictures of orchids. Perhaps I'd adopt a pseudonym so that you might, your hand might waver over the.
I'll tell you what, you're not going to make a fortune out of that, Boris.
There you go. All right.
But
well,
I mean, you have
try something else then. Something will crop up.
Well, that's why he's such a good politician, because that was a genuine question about, do you care about the city you're mayor of, or do you just want to be Prime Minister? And what he said was something so stupid that nobody concentrates on what his answer is. Just go, isn't it true that you killed 100 people last week for fun? Well, yes, but one day I might set up a clown company and call myself Titty McVitty.
Sending him to China on a trade mission and George Osborne is like sending Jedward to sort out Syria. The Chinese just looking at him thinking, well, why have you sent him this idiot?
Yeah. Man that looks like he's just come around for a general anaesthetic.
Yeah.
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. What else do the nation be talking about? John, Alex, Henning.
There's a new show on telly, Jimmy, called The X Factor.
Did you ever watch The X Factor?
I watched it until the judges' houses this year, and I thought I'd give it a go. And then they sent Paul home, and Louis might as well just gone, oh, well, I've heard y'all sing, but I'm going to pick the youngest and the ones that'll go on the posters there on the bedroom walls. It was absolute bullshit that Paul went home, and that's my serious answer. I think Paul had the best voice in the competition. They told him that in the first round, and now what they're going to do is to go, oh, come back next year. I hope he does with an Uzi.
So the X Factor live show started last week. Shall we take a look at one of the performances? This is Shelley Smith.
But the secret is still my own. Oh, my love for you is still unknown. Alone. Till now, I always got my own. I never really cared till I met you. And now it chills me to the bone. How do I get you alone? How do I get you alone?
What do you think, Sean?
Well, I think she'd make a very good prison guard. She's got up there, you could see her on the corner of a prison camp, singing, you know, about her dreams and whatever, but also keeping a good eye on the exercise yard with an M16.
Miles, do you watch X Factor?
Yeah, very, very big fan. I mean, essentially, it's Bake Off without ovens. It's a bit sort of samey, isn't it? It's people standing and singing. Sometimes they go up and down. I sort of feel that it's ready for something else, and I would really get behind, you know, like if they had a proper brass band on or something like that. What that programme really needs is a decent trombonist.
Helen, who's your favourite judge? Who do you like?
Favourite judge?
Favourite judge?
Nobody's got a favourite judge.
Oh, probably Justice Edie.
Yeah.
On the X Factor, who's your favourite judge on the X Factor?
Yeah.
I think Nicole does a really good job, and also she's amazing.
Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely got something.
Yeah, I like Nicole. And they brought Sharon Osbourne back, which is
I know,
quite surprising,
from the
actually.
dead, by the looks of it. It's a medical miracle that they've got
Why
her.
have they got a wind cannon just aimed at her?
Henning, do you watch X Factor?
No, I must admit I haven't watched it. Strange concept, isn't it, going on a reality TV show? Because the people, essentially, what they end up with, they end in a situation where they'll be temporarily too well-known to take public transport, but because it's unwaged, they're still too poor to travel by cab. And that is the real sob story for me in our context.
Well, a leading psychologist this week claims the X Factor producers are deliberately creating cruel twists because viewers have become immune to sob stories.
I'm bored of them. I mean, what sort of person uses a sob story to get on television and become famous.
I'm not sure whether you're allowed to say disability. It's a sob story, isn't it?
It's a Paralympic legacy, mate. Do a bit of sport, now we're everywhere.
Let's have a look and see if the X Factor's up there. Yes, the X Factor live finals have started. Lorna Simpson claims she was voted off X Factor because of a fix. Yes, Lorna, God fixed it by giving you an average voice and a shit personality. Sean's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
The Andrew Mitchell thing.
That's what people have been talking about. The disbelief, the incredulity of the whole nation that the police might have made something up. That story. There's ice cream men just stopping, switching off the machine, just going, what's the point of selling ice cream in a world where policemen make things up?
So last September, Andrew Mitchell was accused of swearing at the police and calling officers plebs when they wouldn't let him ride his bike through the main gates at Downing Street. He denied calling them plebs.
The worst thing about it is obviously he's coming out of it all right now, whereas he's a massive knob. Isn't he?
Well, Andrew, Andrew Mitchell has nicknamed himself Big Swinging Dick.
I'd love to have a nickname like that.
That's not going to happen.
I was called Cocknose at university because I had a nose, well, shaped like a cock.
A couple of things. Firstly, your cock is a weird shape.
What do you call it when a scandal becomes a scandal? Because it was Plebgate, so now it's Plebgate Gate. Plebgate itself has become a scandal, because if it happened in Harrogate, it would have been Harrogate.
In the end of the day, we're discussing now a story that exactly nobody knows anything about because, well, first the police said that's happened, so he swore, and then it turns out no, he didn't. Apparently they said there was loads of onlookers, then there was nobody standing there. Well, you can't really trust the police, can you? And then somebody else goes, yeah, but that Mitchell fella used to be an investment banker, you can't trust him either, can you? And then everybody goes, well, who can you trust? Let's go to church on Sunday.
I'm confused. I've not felt this way since I watched Inception. I'm gone. I don't know what's happening.
Let's see if it's up there. Yes, the Plebgate row has intensified this week. Andrew Mitchell's always disputed the police's version of events, saying, I 100% deny calling those pricks plebs. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing still to get. What do you think, Sean?
The Queen has got a...
She's pregnant.
Yeah.
The Queen is not pregnant.
Oh.
Well, the Queen has been in the news, though.
She attacked
a child.
A child, yeah. In a park. And got away with it again. Because she's got some kind of immunity where she can just go up and slap children around the back of the head. And then just get carried off on the back of a beefeater.
That wave looks really sinister when you think about that. That's just her out of the window going, go on.
Is it the Queen attacking the children in the park?
No. OK, so the Queen has been in the news because of her finances this week.
Yes, she can't afford to heat all the palaces.
I know.
Yeah.
Awful.
Castles.
Poor Biddy.
So what do you think of this, Miles?
Well, I mean, I worry about her the way I would about any relative, really. Henning, in the way that China wanted Hong Kong back, would you like the Queen back?
You can keep them all. We had royal family and all that, but these days in Germany we haven't got a class system. It's like everybody's doing incredibly well.
Why are you here?
It wasn't good enough to cut it back home.
What job did you do in Germany before you came here?
Well, I tried to do stand-up comedy, but not good enough. And over here in Britain, bloody easy.
I can tell you it's not in our top 5, but the state of the Queen's finances has come under scrutiny. 39% of royal buildings are in need of repair. There's one crumbling facade that's constantly leaking. But doctors say Prince Philip is on the mend. Buckingham Palace is riddled with holes, especially in the walls between Prince Philip's dressing room and Kate Middleton's bathroom. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get.
I keep seeing Banksy in the pissing papers.
You're not a big fan of the Banksy?
He's a vandal. He's a bloody public nuisance, is what he is. And for every funny Banksy, where they go, oh, that's a good one, for every Banksy, there's a Binksy and a Spanksy and a Wanksy and a Monksy and someone who's just drawing on walls.
So this is the story. Banksy anonymously set up a stall in Central Park, selling original prints worth £20,000 each for just $60.
People were haggling, that's what I like. New Yorkers were going up to Banksy and going, I ain't paying $60 for that piece of shit. And he had to stand there and go...
He's anonymous, isn't he? And I could understand him being anonymous if all he ever drew was like a cock and balls. You would be proud of that, would you?
Well, it's good for a city. This is why he's never been caught, because really, when he's in London, people know, oh, this will create a lot of tourist attractions, and he's pretty much been invited to New York to do an exhibition. So that's what... If you wanted to catch Banksy, I don't imagine there's many people with a Bristolian accent wandering around New York at the moment. You ain't got 500 cans of red spray paint, have you, geezer?
So what does he do drawings of? Like, what does he do artwork of?
We can't show any Banksy. He won't let us. Although, who do we ask? Well, why don't we show some and just go,
Yeah.
I'll say I'm Banksy.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is he going to do?
I'm Banksy.
No, well, I'm Banksy.
No, I'm Banksy.
I'm Banksy, I think.
Well, no, I'm...
When I would say it's me, but no one's going to believe I'm that skilled with my hands.
Cool. Let's have a look and see if Banksy's up there. Yes, graffiti artist Banksy set up a secret stall in New York and sold his artwork for just $60. There hasn't been a discount on art this big since Rolf Harris was arrested. So those were the most talked about things this week. But in other news, the US debt crisis has been resolved. Americans are going to have to tighten their belts, which won't be easy for them, as most of them are wearing elasticated trousers. British Gas has put up prices by 10%. Our only hope of beating the energy crisis now is to build more wind farms and to switch exclusively to Mexican food. And it's been revealed this week that the Soviet Union once ran up a huge debt to New Zealand after importing massive quantities of butter. I'm not sure where the Soviets kept all this butter, but I'm guessing in the middle of Kiev. OK, at the end of that round, Sean, Miles and Helen have 2 points. John, Alex and Henning have 3 points. So our next round is pick of the polls. OK, John's team. What do you like the look of?
Oh, let's Yasser Arafat.
Yasser Arafat there.
So I can't really see the monitor very well. I just assumed he was there.
Simon Cowell. The picture of Simon Cowell taking a picture of himself.
OK, you've chosen the selfie there. A recent survey revealed that British people take 35 million selfies a month. So we asked our studio audience, do people take too many pictures of themselves? Yes or no?
I would say no.
Are you aware of how many pictures you take of yourself in the average week?
Well, all girls do my age. Like, you know, when you're going out, before you go out, you take lots of pictures and stuff. I mean, if I look at Instagram, I can look at my account and there's loads of all my friends and there's loads of things and everyone's got selfies.
Let's have a look at some of the pictures of you recently. Have you put on weight since that was taken?
No, there's an art to it.
Do you take many pictures of yourself, Miles?
I've knocked a few out.
Miles, 1 in 8 people admit to taking sexy selfies.
Yeah?
Are you one of those?
Listen, if it comes out sexy, it comes out sexy. I'm not... I just think of them as photos.
This is my favourite ever selfie of all time. So in 2011, a macaque monkey took a selfie after wildlife photographer David Slater left his camera unattended. Here's the selfie taken by a monkey of himself.
Is that for real?
That is for real, yeah. He left his camera out and the monkeys got hold of it.
Really?
That's a genuine thing. Here's another incredible selfie. See if you recognise anyone from this photo.
No, not really.
The guy on the left is the Pope.
What?
Some kids took a little selfie with him, which I think is a modern thing for the Pope to do.
Did it on their phone or his? Because he's got the Pope mobile, hasn't he? I keep reading
John, you took a selfie this week. Can you talk me through what was going on there? I mean...
This week...
What happened?
That was my New Year's party. I had a beard, and I decided that throughout the evening I would shave the beard off in instalments as a little treat for my guests. That was the penultimate stage, and they call that the monkey tail beard. And it looks like a monkey tail.
Oh, yeah. We've got one of your selfies. Don't worry about that. What? We've got a selfie of you. Let's have a look.
I'll tell you what.
What was that for?
It was for... I did, like, a documentary on weight loss. So it was to illustrate my weight loss and also the last one to send to a couple of people, you know what I mean?
Was it really good?
Oh, thank you. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. I already follow you.
I'll follow you back.
Brilliant.
OK, so do people take too many pictures of themselves? What do you think our audience thought? Yes or no, John?
Yeah. But we have to define what is too many.
A lot.
Yeah, I'm going to go yeah.
Yeah.
You're going yeah. OK, what are you going for?
Well, too many. Well, it's a very interesting question that Henning has raised. Too many. Because too many would suggest it's actually causing a problem, that there are consequences to this, the amount of photographs that have been created. And I can't equivocally say that the consequences of the amount of photographs that have been produced has a negative impact on the well-being of the nation. So I don't think I'll feel comfortable saying, yes, too many have been taken.
Does anyone want anything from the shops?
Helen, let's go to you. Do people take too many selfies?
There's not, like, an amount, so no.
I can tell you the answer is yes. 79% of our studio audience think people do take too many pictures of themselves. 25% of people have dirty photos on their phones. Helen Flanagan has literally hundreds of absolutely filthy photos on her mobile. I know, because I sent them to her. John, Alex, Henning, pick a question.
Let's have the nice tea, the nice roast dinner.
I can tell you that's a dish of squirrel and mash. Oh. Genuinely. So here's your related question. This week, the new president of the RSPB encouraged people to eat animals killed by the roadside. So we asked our studio audience, would you eat roadkill, yes or no?
At the moment, yeah, I would eat it raw off the pavement. I haven't eaten meat for a while and I'm gagging for some. So if it died by accident or of laughter, I will eat it raw. I've eaten flies when I've been on my bike.
Well, it depends on where you live, isn't it? Like, if you live in America, of course you eat roadkill. Because you drive into bears or moose or... So, like, proper big animals where there is a good steak on them. But over here, essentially, well, all you have is hedgehogs or something, and there's just nothing on them. So, and then just squashed into the tarmac, and so it's more road than kill.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting. Do you ever look at some of the things you've eaten?
Not really.
Let's have a little look at you eating some stuff.
That's camel toe.
What do you mean camel toe?
You've got to eat a portion of the camel toe. That is a camel's foot. Camel toes. That's it, try it.
Chew, swallow, chew, swallow. And what's in the middle of that hot cross bun?
A hot cross bum.
Bum.
It's bum.
Oh my God, are you joking me?
It's an ostrich anus. There you are.
Promise me some nice.
Think about you lying on the beach. You can hear the waves, run ashores, and you've got a pina colada by the side of you, and you're going to go out tonight, and you just get your tan topped up. Yeah. It's lying there, and you're chewing a club sandwich.
Oh. It's smoky.
Yeah.
Go on, you're nearly there. And you're off.
Well done.
Good girl.
Have a drink.
What was worse, the camel toe or the anus?
I can't remember, but when you watch it back, you're like, oh, don't be soft, like, it can't be that bad. But actually, when you're doing it, it's horrific.
What did it taste like? What's...
I can never actually eat any more like turkey or chicken sandwiches because it just reminds me of that.
I've never heard anyone say that before. I ate a thing that tasted like chicken, so it's put me off chicken. Normally they just go, it wasn't that bad, it tasted like chicken.
No, but like a minging chicken, like...
Minging chicken.
You don't think it'd be a good new flavour of crisp?
Vile.
Camel toe.
What about the ostrich anus? How was that?
I can't actually remember what it tasted like.
Probably like normal anus.
Would you eat roadkill?
Well, it's hard for me to eat roadkill because I've got a sweet tooth. So unless someone run over a trifle.
Oh, would you eat roadkill?
Nah, but then I'm kind of a stickler for it. Like, I'm the sort of person who won't eat meat that's cooked on the dirty George Foreman.
On the dirty George Foreman?
You know, like the little grills.
It cleans itself, the George Foreman.
Doesn't in my house.
People come in when you leave the room and do that, but it's not self-cleaning. Cleans itself, a house, doesn't it? I find. I just leave, I come back, everything's clean.
OK, so we asked our studio audience, would you eat roadkill, yes or no? What are you going to go with, John?
People don't eat bruised fruit, do they? So they're not going to eat a smattered rabbit.
That's a very good point. OK, so you're saying no. What are you going to say, Sean?
Well, I think most people wouldn't. I mean, I would.
Seriously?
Yeah, I would, yeah, I would. Well, as long as I knew it was fresh, and if it's wrong to drive around an owl sanctuary with a cricket bat... guilty as charged. Lock me up and throw away the key, why don't you? Got a luminous cricket bat at night time.
That's a show I'd watch instead of X Factor.
We're going to say yes.
OK, I can tell you the answer is no. 61% of our studio audience would not eat roadkill. You're right. So you say you wouldn't eat roadkill, but if you've ever eaten at a Little Chef, chances are you probably already have. And the winner is the name of our final round, and here is your question. Worst thing about camping? What do you think, Sean?
You can't pretend you're out when the Jehovah's Witnesses come round. They can see the silhouette. They can see the silhouette of you creeping round inside the tent.
Earlier this year, I went with a few friends to the French Alps for some camping and mountain hiking. So, and there was two downsides to that holiday. One was camping, the other one was the walking. So, I mean, mountain walking, that's a strange one, because, I mean, if it really was that good, I mean, why is no other fucker doing it?
Helen, have you ever been camping?
I've always wanted to go camping, actually, because I thought, you know, go with your boyfriend camping, it might be kind of romantic, but, you know, you just get like, frizzy hair, you can't shower properly. I'm not really a big fan, to be honest with you.
There's a thing called glamping now.
I know, that sounds really cool.
Which is camping, but it's like you stay in a super posh tent with a bed in it. That's basically like a hotel. Would you do that?
But that isn't proper camping.
No,
you know?
but on the plus side, it's nice. Sean, you go camping quite a lot. What do you like about it?
What do I like about it?
What's the attraction?
It's cheap. No, I like going to the toilet and everyone knows what you're going to do. A toilet roll in your hand.
Because it's weird telling people on the way.
Yeah.
In a regular hotel, I'll stop people and say, "You'll never guess where I'm going. But I haven't got a toilet roll to prove it."
I just need to walk around, go past every tent, go, oh, I've got my toilet roll here, and I'm headed over there.
I think we know what's going on.
Yeah. Everybody, me, off the telly, I'm going to the toilet.
John, do you go camping?
No, I've tried it. I like the idea of being in the wilderness, but then I find out how scared I am of everything. Everything pretty much from a worm upwards. I'm pretty shit scared of. Sleeping in a wet, don't like that. And just the general loneliness.
The general loneliness? How's that different from home?
Because there's a telly at home and I can have the voices. Put my DVD on and pretend, oh, I'm going to sleep in my bar in New York. Where everybody knows my name.
You were close before with sleeping in the wet.
The weather.
The right answer. That's simple. Yes, the worst thing about camping is bad weather. I love going camping in a tent made of bricks shaped like a hotel. I think the worst thing about camping is the bit where Paul Gascoigne turns up with half a roast chicken and a fishing rod. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Miles and Helen have 2 points, John, Alex and Henning have 6 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.